Vaughn Otto spent his years in the Air Force maintaining aircraft weapon systems, but he also added some extra color to a world of Air Force blue.
Every duty station I was at, everybody wanted this painted in the break room or in the NCO club or enlisted club. Just before I got out, one of the guys said, when you get back to States, you need to buy an airbrush.
He ended up back in Gulf Shores, Alabama, where he grew up.
After Vietnam, there weren't too many people hiring, and I finally got a job scraping barnacles off of boats.
But he remembered his friend's advice, went to the local mall, and found an airbrush artist.
He sold me the airbrush but wouldn't show me how to use it, so I just sat down and started teaching myself how to do it. And then I'd take him pictures of what I did, and ended up, I started working for him.
Vaughn fine-tuned his skills there for 10 years, and before he knew it, he was landing contracts with trucking companies here in Texas. Word of his skills traveled, and he even rubbed shoulders with some celebrities.
I've done stuff for Evel Knievel, did a trailer for him. I did the Snake River Canyon jump. And then the other 20 by 10 was the Caesar's Palace jump. I've done stuff for the Air Force Thunderbirds. I did a coffee table for them that's in their VIP room to this day.
And one of his works is now considered a national treasure.
Got nose art on a B-25 that's in the Smithsonian. It's called Carol Jean. It's in at the Dulles Udor Hazy Museum.
But what Vaughn loves most is using his skills to help other people.
Like this piece back here, that's a avionics hood off of a Huey, and I've done quite a few for the different VFWs and American Legions for them to auction off to raise money.
You'll find Vaughn Otto's airbrush creations at auctions across Central Texas, fundraisers for people who need assistance, organizations, and causes dear to his heart.
I did several cow skulls that were auctioned off for Chris Kyle Foundation. Which was at the golf course right down the road.
And he wants to send a message to all who've served, that they are honored and not forgotten.
When I was in during the last part of Vietnam, we were treated like crap. And people threw bottles at us, cussed at us, spit on us. And I feel like I can do something for especially for the Vietnam guys and the Korean War vets, and make them feel welcome that they came home. If it just helps one person, that's fantastic. If it helps many more, that's even better. And plus, it sort of it helps me. That's my icing on the cake.
Adrian Evans quickly grew up in a military family, so it's no surprise she wanted to be in the Army too.
The military needed, I thought, more women. And at that time, there were a lot of men out there, but I could do what they couldn't. Well, I'm born between two brothers, so.
It was the early 70s. Evans quickly got into ROTC, then the reserves, and before she knew it, she was headed overseas during the Vietnam era to be part of a general staff.
The fighting raged through jungles, across rubber plantations.
I went with General Steele and some of the others back to retrieve some of the things from the killing fields in the areas in Cambodia.
And she saw women in all kinds of military roles.
Women were not just nurses, you know, they worked in the hospitals, and they also did, I knew some special ops women. I knew some women who were piloting then, those who could repair things and fix things.
Earlier this year, Evans quickly got to see one of those special ops women, someone who protected her when her life was in danger.
But she remembered me. She remembered those who were with me who did not come back with me, making sure that I was safe and returned to my father and brought back to the States.
Evans quickly says other women were truck drivers, supply team members, and more, all while fighting social norms.
It was not a popular thing for women to join the military.
And while some men they served with didn't treat them as equals, others made up for it.
Those who thought that we were a team and that we needed to stand together.
Evans quickly saw much death, but made it home safely. She remained in the Army and helped break down many new barriers, joining the military police.
They were like, you have to gain some weight. There was you have to gain some weight to do this. I can do that.
Adrian Evans quickly joined the Army in the early 1970s, at a time when it wasn't a very popular choice for women. But just serving was not enough for Evans quickly. She was also breaking new ground as a member of the military police.
I was one of the first females that was assigned to Fort Ritchie, Maryland.
And as part of those duties, she would work at Camp David. Evans quickly wasn't thrilled about her first post.
I'm a military police, and I guarded China for Nancy Reagan.
Yep, plates.
I said, okay, I want some real action. There was an alternate Pentagon site out there in the Kwtx Mountains that we were really responsible for, and I was one of 7 of the first females out there.
And in 2003, during the wars in Iraq and Afghanistan, Evans quickly was sent overseas again. She was scheduled to come back home in November of that year, but a young mother she served with who wanted to get home for Thanksgiving asked if she could get Evans quickly's helicopter seat.
I let her have my seat, and that helicopter got blown out of the air. I got injured on the ground.
And because of the last-minute switch, Evans quickly's family thought she was dead, and the other woman's family thought their beloved wife and mother was alive.
God, I know that you did this for a reason. That's why I guess I give back so much now. But that is one of the most difficult things that you ever have to face. So when my son left to go to Iraq and come back, my prayer was, please God, as a parent and as a mother, just bring him home in one piece and safe. And thank God he answers prayers.
After retiring from a career of service, she has become a part of the Women's Army Corps Veterans Association, Chapter 94 in Killeen. They meet the needs of veterans and active duty service members and their families, financial, emotional, or otherwise.
We're here and we're giving back, and most of us till the day we die.
And she says all Americans must do the same.
You must give back, you must do what you can with what you have.
We all want to make a mark on this world, and Robert Carter made his mark. He made a big one.
You could find Robert Popeye Carter in this office every time the doors were open. As chaplain of Veterans One Stop, he helped build the nonprofit geared toward helping veterans into what it is today.
We've been inundated with calls from so many different people, from so many different walks of life that have a story to tell about Robert Carter and what he meant to them and what he meant to the veteran community.
But now, his office sits empty.
It's difficult to walk over to that door right now and it be shut.
One Stop director Delisa Russell says she lost a confidant, powerhouse co-worker, and a trusted friend. And those in the veteran community lost someone who truly understood them. Robert was a Vietnam-era and Gulf War veteran himself.
He was actually the person that got to make that judgment call. Is this person needing a gas card? Is this person needing assistance here? Popeye would find a way. If a veteran needed something, he was going to find a way. That veteran may never know that it came from Robert Carter, but he would help provide a solution.
The legacy of Popeye is in every veteran that's in here. You're not going to meet one person that hasn't felt his touch, and also that's been around his umbrella of greatness.
He was good-hearted. He knew what he was doing. He helped the veterans. He helped me a lot when I first got here, and I appreciate it, and I'm going to miss him very much.
He sustained a lot of physical issues as a result of him serving in the Gulf War, and he was very passionate about making sure that Gulf War illness was recognized and that veterans like him were getting the assistance that they needed.
And even on those days he was in pain, He would come to the One Stop, trying to find some comfort in his big easy chair and working on a myriad of projects. Some you've probably encountered yourself.
I'm not sure that everybody in the city of Waco knew that who was behind the largest Veterans Day parade in the nation. It was Robert Carter.
And Robert openly shared his faith.
He knew that our veterans, many of them are dealing with their own moral injury, and he wanted them to have something that they could believe in.
I have been fortunate enough in my life to have some very good friends. I had a closer relation with Robert than I had with anybody in my family.
Community veterans advocate Bill Mahan was one of Robert's closest friends. While health issues have left Bill in need of consistent medical care, Robert never forgot him.
There are too many ways I can go talking about Robert and his goodness. Before he left on vacation, he made a stop to bring me a loaf of banana bread. He said, making sure you have enough banana bread till we get back.
The two worked tirelessly together on veterans' issues.
Robert was my anchor to be staying involved.
On Veterans Day this year, they were part of a very special wedding. Bart and Lynn Smith were reunited through Vietnam documentaries produced by Kwtx, and Bill and Robert were there for the special day. Bill with special words for the couple.
The war's over, everything's done, everything's cold. But in all those piles of ashes, there were two embers buried in the piles of destruction, and we got them here together today. Let's start that fire.
And Robert officiating.
You stand before us as children of God, redeemed through Jesus Christ.
I'm just gonna say for the rest of my life, I'm not gonna be a happy man. It's probably the biggest loss I've ever had.
Now, members of the community say goodbye to Robert Popeye Carter, carrying with them his legacy of quiet service and hoping they too can make the world a better place.
I absolutely believe that even though he's not in that office, he will be looking over the One Stop. He loved this place and we loved him.
Whatever happens after you die, if there's a place made for you, they've been working on Robert's place a long time. Because he earned it a long time ago.